Hey gorgeous, it's Ker-leen. Thank you for tuning back into my channel. In today's video, I will be rating my Arabian fragrances. This video is strictly for fun, and I encourage you all to join in on the fun in the comment section. Share your ratings for some of these fragrances as well. So if you're up for today's fragrance chat, then please keep watching. Super excited you're here and I'm ready to get into this video. But before we do, I want to say thank you to those of you who are new here, who clicked on that thumbnail. On this channel, I talk luxury, I do review videos, I share my fragrance journey, and I also sprinkle in a little bit of lifestyle. If any of those things pique your interest, then I would love to have you here. So go ahead and hit that subscribe button and also turn on that notification bell so you know exactly when my videos drop. All right, let's get into it. So here's what I want you to do, friend. As I give these ratings, I would love to know what you are rating these fragrances as well. Also, just to note, these ratings are going to be based on scent and performance today. The first one I have here is Hawa Pink. This fragrance is by the house Zamaya, and Hawa Pink is supposed to be a dupe for the Lina Lavoisier. I've done a video comparing this to the OG, so I will link it here so that you can go and watch it. If you watched my comparison video, you know that I do think there are some differences between this and the OG, but today we're just focusing on this as a standalone fragrance. This scent is sweet, it's fresh, it has a hint of citrus, it's a little musky, it's fruity, it's floral. It is a beautiful scent and perfect for the upcoming summer because it keeps you smelling fresh. There is this fresh and aquatic vibe to this fragrance as well. This fragrance opens up extremely juicy. It has bergamot and pear at the opening and a little tart as well. There's a slight subtle tartness because there is a lychee in the opening of this fragrance. There is a soft pink rose in this fragrance, so although it is rosy, it is a very soft and subtle rose. And then there is a subtle musk at the base of this fragrance. It does dry down subtly musky, a little woody, not too much. And overall, I think this fragrance is a very soft, powdery, fresh, slightly aquatic, slightly earthy rose scent. Performance-wise, this fragrance lasts me 6 hours on the close and it projects for the first 2 to 3 hours. This definitely goes the distance for me. It's just that it doesn't project for very long. And so with that, I would give this fragrance a 7.5 out of 10. I think this is a gorgeous scent. I just wish it projected a little bit more. It's gotten up to 100 degrees where I live, and so I've been testing this one out. And in humid 100-degree weather, this one does not project for very long. You will smell this fragrance on yourself all day and on the fabric of your clothes after you get home. Zamaya's Hawa Pink is just so beautiful. The next fragrance I have here is Lattafa's Bade Al Oud Sublime. Bade Al Oud Sublime is such a gorgeous scent. This one I'm most excited about wearing this summer. It's going to be clutch. So Bade Al Oud Sublime is extremely mouth-watering and juicy. This fragrance is primarily fresh and fruity. This one is supposed to be a dupe for Eden Juicy Apple, and this one does have very similar notes, except that I think that this one is a little bit more mature than Eden Juicy Apple. This one opens up with apple, lychee, and rose. I definitely get that green apple vibe from this fragrance. Imagine a super crispy and firm green apple and you've just taken a bite out of that, kind of that sweet, juicy tartness that you get. That's what this fragrance gives in the opening. That apple is paired with lychee. That's what gives that sensation and sort of evokes that crisp, juicy, sweet, slightly tart green apple. The jasmine, though, isn't very prominent to my nose. This does have moss and patchouli at the base. There's a vanilla at the base. And while it's not a very vanilla-centric fragrance, this does have a very sweet, soft, slightly earthy base. And so this fragrance is a little bit more grown up. I feel like that moss is making this fragrance a little bit more grown up than Eden Juicy Apple. So this is not like a one-to-one. It's definitely not like a clone type of fragrance. This is like the older sister to the OG, in my opinion. So for this time of year, this fragrance is an absolute must-have. This is the fragrance that's going to keep you refreshed in really thick, hot and maybe even super duper dry summer heat, this fragrance is going to give you that thirst quenching, revitalizing, refreshing essence when you spray this on. And so with that, I'm going to rate this fragrance an 8.5 out of 10. This is Bade Al Oud Sublime by Lattafa. So speaking of thirst quenching and mouth watering, this next one does those very same things. This is Khayr Fusion Lychee by Paris Corner. So this fragrance is another dupe, and I have talked about this fragrance in previous videos. I'll go ahead and link one of those videos here, but this fragrance is supposed to be a dupe for another Kayali fragrance, and that fragrance is Eden Sparkling Lychee 39. So I've talked about how I feel about the differences and similarities. So please do watch the previous videos to hear more of my thoughts on this fragrance. This is another gorgeous scent, especially for this time of year. And for me, the opening of this fragrance is all about the black currant and that red apple with a little hint of lychee, especially in this dupe. There is a freshness to this, but this isn't as zesty as I thought it would be in the opening. I feel like the lemon just adds a brightness and a freshness. At the mid of this fragrance, there is jasmine, candy violet, and rose. I definitely pick up on the violet and rose in this fragrance. It does feel a little candy-like, a little sugary sweet at the mid, but this is nowhere near as candied as the OG. For me, the base notes really shine in this fragrance because for me, this fragrance does get very creamy and vanillic on the dry down. There's sandalwood in here and there's musk and vanilla. And I feel like this fragrance is slightly more creamy on the dry down than the OG. For me, this fragrance does project about 3 to 4 hours. And also for me, this fragrance lasts about 5 to 6 hours on my clothes. So with that, I would give this fragrance a 7.5 out of 10. And that is because where this fragrance lacks in lasting power, it makes up for in scent. This is such a beautiful fragrance. So this is Paris Corner's Khayr Fusion Lychee. This next fragrance is one that I'm super excited to have. It was recommended to me by you all. It's new to my collection and I absolutely love this fragrance. This is Junoon Noir by Al Haramain. Thank you so much to those of you who recommended this one. It is so beautiful. I will be back with more thoughts on this one and how it compares to the OG. That video will be up on my channel soon in the next few videos, so stay tuned for that. But this one is absolutely fantabulous. I love it. So Junoon Noir opens up with kumquat and lime. I don't pick up on lime, but I do pick up on that kumquat. The kumquat is very unique. It's all of the elements of your typical citrus without the zing and the zest. You still get that brightness, that juiciness, that effervescence, but it lacks the zest and the zing, in my opinion. So I think in that regard, this fragrance is so unique. The mid is probably my favorite part of this fragrance. At the mid, you get orris, you get violet, jasmine, and lily of the valley. And I love the buttery, soft, powdery goodness of the orris and the violet at the mid of this fragrance. At the base, I feel like the musk, the sandalwood, and the vanilla are the stars of the show. That's how this fragrance dries down. Slightly powdery still. You do get a hint of that kumquat, and then you get that gorgeous vanilla, sandalwood, and musk mix. And it is so ethereal, so creamy, so sweet. So the scent, y'all, is absolutely stunning. It's gorgeous. It's ethereal, it's sweet, it's fresh, it's vanillic, it's powdery. It's just so good. It's so good, y'all. And without giving away too much before I do my review, the performance on this is everything. This one on me projects where people can smell it for 4+ hours. And this lasts all day on the clothes. So for me, this is a 10 out of 10 fragrance, easily. This is so good. Like I said, this projects for about 3 to 4 hours on my clothes, on my skin, where people can still smell it. And this has still been on my clothes at the end of a super long day after about 8+ hours. This is so good. Definitely a 10 out of 10 kind of fragrance. Let me know what your thoughts and your experiences have been with this particular one. I'm curious to know. This next one has been out of stock for a while, so I'm guessing you all really love this one, but it is back in stock now, and this is Kissa Pink by Paris Corner. Kissa Pink is perfect for summer. Kissa Pink has this freshness about it. It's really nice. This opens up with apple and coconut and you definitely pick up on that coconut. I think the coconut and the apple are a really interesting mix of notes in the opening. I definitely pick up on both the apple and the coconut together. The coconut in here lacks the typical sunscreen quality that you get with fragrances that have coconut in them. I don't think the coconut is done the same here. Then at the mid, you get violet, jasmine, and rose. Now, while I don't pick up on heavy florals in this fragrance, I definitely pick up on the violet. Like I said, this has a freshness to it, and I think the freshness is coming from that violet. I feel like the violet provides this very clean and fresh feel at the mid of this fragrance. Then this fragrance dries down to something very creamy, very vanilla. And although patchouli is listed at the base, I don't pick up any patchouli from this, at least not yet. And I don't pick up on the cedarwood either. This, to my nose, is like sandalwood and vanilla. Oh, and there's sugar at the base. This is definitely sugary, definitely sweet, very creamy on that dry down. So to me, this is the color pink in a bottle. It's not a groundbreaking scent, but it's very pretty. And I absolutely love the freshness in here. This one is sweet, like sugary sweet. It's fruity, it's creamy, yet it's also very fresh. Performance-wise, I get about 3 to 4 hours where it's projecting, and this lasts about 6 hours for me on my clothes. This is still very new to my collection, and I am giving it room to macerate. I'm giving it that maceration grace, if you will. And so because of that, we're gonna give this a 7.5 with the expectation that this can go up to an 8 out of 10. But for today's video, this is going to get a 7.5 out of 10. How would you rate Kisa Pink? Let me know in the comments. All right, friend, thank you so much for indulging me and sharing your ratings in the comments. I'm so excited to read the comments and read you all's thoughts on how you would rate these fragrances. So please don't forget to leave me your ratings down below. Thank you so much for still being here. If you are still here and you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a like on your way out because that really does help my channel. And also, if you enjoy fragrance content and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on those notifications so you never miss another video. Before we part ways today, I want to remind you that it's not about how you start, but how you finish. Currently, I am finishing up my doctoral program. I'm on the last leg and we are almost done. And I'm so tired. It's been a journey. You know, when you're close to the end of something, and for me, something I could compare it to is a workout, or at the end of an interval, a particular exercise, I have the tendency, and sometimes my mind wants me to just take it easy and coast. But right when you're about to finish that 45-second interval or the last minute of that workout, that's when you have to really dig deep. You have to dig deep and you have to finish strong, because sometimes when you coast, you might miss the mark and you miss the opportunity to grow, to really challenge yourself, build that muscle, and earn the prize at the end of the race. Whatever the prize may be for you, your joy, your peace, just a sense of fulfillment. And so I want to encourage you that it's not about how you started today. It's not about how you started this week, this month. It's about how you finish. And like I had to encourage myself, I want to encourage you today to dig deep and finish strong. I will be over here doing the exact same thing. Thank you so much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one very soon. Bye.